welcome. Friday night, impromptu episode of the Sideline Junkies. Myself, I am the boss, BJ. I am the moderator tonight. I'm going to have some fun with this one too. Um, to my left, right, Midnight Rider, the only guy that still recycles cans. So if
Here we go, baby.
you see him out on the
I
street with his
sound,
trash
baby.
bag. He got his vest. Leave him alone. Let him get his cans. And on the other side of the screen, the big guy KG, he and not Bob Barker coined the phrase "get your pet spayed and neutered." That was big guy. That wasn't Bob Barker. I'm letting you know that now, fellas. How
Legend
y'all
in the
doing?
making, baby.
Look, I gotta ask. I know how y'all doing, but I gotta ask how y'all doing.
If you had asked me this morning, it'd have been a whole different vibe, bruh. A whole different vibe. Like normally I'm chill going to work this morning. I threw like DMX on because I just needed to get I just had that anger built up in my body. So yeah.
You right now, you got the whole Notre Dame get up on. You look like the coach when somebody fuck up and they got to come to the sideline and you about to chew them out. That's
it,
what you
man.
look like right now, you know. So, hey man, we gonna get into this thing. The Commanders host the 0-4 Chicago Bears last night, and there's a lot to get to. There's a lot to talk about. We got a guest tonight, and I'm excited to get him on here for the first time, and hopefully not the last time. And lifelong Commanders fan, uh, native to the area, so he's gonna give his perspective and kind of get some things off his chest because it was ugly last night. Um, I went to bed on 17-0, and I'll just before we bring him in, um, on 7-0, I felt like I wasn't there, but I felt like that took the excitement and the air out of the stadium because I think it was one of those things like, why did the Bears just score? And I think it was the way they scored. But I felt like when 17-0, when I went to bed, I just felt like they wasn't going to come back. It just felt like the Bears scoped something on the secondary and they were just eating them up all night. They made Justin Fields look like a young Peyton Manning. And no, don't get me wrong. I root for Justin Fields. He's on a very bad team. I root for Justin Fields. I want to see him do good. And, last two games he's put up some numbers. So without further ado, let's get our guest in here. KG, you got the board, right? I know you on the road and, but my man Oop is in the building. What's going on, sir?
Yo, what's up?
Ain't nothing much, man. Hey, we about to get into this. I got some questions for all y'all, but let's start. Let's start with Oop. Oop, tell me, just give me your quick thoughts from last night, man.
All right, so I got a ton of quick thoughts, and that's my problem for real. Um, if I want to start off, if you only run the ball 10 times in the first half, that's disaster. That means you're either losing or you ain't game playing right. We get it that their whole secondary was out, but you could have beat them running the football anyway. They ain't got the best defensive line. Um, This is week 5. I done seen Charles Leno play like trash 3 of the 5 weeks. I've seen 2 terrible linebackers in a bad scheme. You got them flaring out against players like DeAndre Swift. Like we getting cut up basically on X's and O's before we even losing on the field a lot. They put us in. I don't know if y'all watch the game for real and see that we so passive on defense from kickoff that that carries out throughout the whole game. It got to take for people to really be like, man, they keep getting first. Like no team is scared of 3rd and 7 of us. No team. I don't care what it is. 3rd and 7 used to be hard to get. That used to be a good positive down for defensive players. Nah, not for us. We can't stop the run. Everybody on this panel know that they were going to run on these 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 7s and 6s, and we still can't stop it. So I said it kind of like earlier today. I posted something wild, and I was like, somebody gotta get fired, man, because it's consistent. Like if it's consistent, it's not really the players. That's what they taught to do. So that's, I mean, I could get into so many things. It's crazy. Like if our interior linemen are supposed to be the strength of the team, that's not even the strength. We got Nick Gates, who really a guard for real. You know what I'm saying? We're okay for it to be rebuilding. If that's what it is about, we're okay for that. But we're not one of the teams to look out for. I feel bad for Sam. This is sixth game. Like we still tripping like he a 20-year vet. This is number six. This is six man. This the sixth game. Like he got one more game played that CJ Stroud. Like we like tripping for real. But like I said, man, there's so many concerns that you can't even. Man, if I could see Kendall Fully at the store right now, I might smack him. I ain't even going. I'm not going to play around. But he, for the money, for you to be our number one corner, and St. Juice be lost. It's just I'm disappointed in all the DBs. Y'all, they are relying so much on Derek Force and Cam Curl to save their tails. It's crazy.
And we gonna get into it because I got plenty of questions, and I want to go around the panel. Midnight Ride, I want you to go next. I want you to give me your quick thoughts, and we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty. Because we've been saying things for a while on this show about how this team operates, how this team comes on the field, how they play, how they. You can tell at times that it just doesn't look like, and that's why I was so mad with the Eric Bieniemy stuff in the offseason about them complaining about how he was practicing, and it's like, you know, you can tell when a team is not prepared when they hit that field. So, Midnight Rider, give me your quick thoughts and what you thought about just overall last night and kind of where it sets the mood for the fan base.
I'll say it this way. I'm gonna say it easy because Oop took a lot of stuff. I liked a lot of his thoughts, but for me, last night was the microcosm of what this team is. We don't start fast. We don't get out early. Besides the Philly game, and that was one time in a million that they even got out in that. I was shocked for that to happen. It looked like last night Chicago knew every coverage, every setup we were in, and they would just have guys running wide open. It made no sense last night, the pass coverage. And I know he talked about Defoe, but Defoe has been playing bad. He's been out of position a lot, and he's missed tackles. And then the poor kid Forbes, he's so trigger shot now on hitting somebody. I mean, he olayed big time on Khalil Herbert on one run, and then came back and on a hitch to DJ Moore, he messed that all up. So it's one of those situations where when I watch this team play, I try to figure out who they are. And I know everybody wants to clamor for Eric Bieniemy to be the head coach, but after 5 or 6 games in, I don't even know who he is. Like, this offense doesn't have an identity. The front four is supposed to be our best attribute on this team. They supposed to be our version of the fearsome foursome. They probably the fraudulent four when I look at it sometimes, because there's no way. It's like they're out for self. Like, you watch them line up on those 2 3rd and 7s. They lined the tackles lined up on the outside shoulder of the guards. So unless the 2 linebackers were going to double A gap blitz, it didn't make sense. It made no sense in the world. They were just giving away yards last night. They did the same thing it was a Khalil Herbert run where the motion takes the safety out, brings Cam Curl down. They kick out the tackle in the end, and Herbert runs for like 20 yards. Forbes missed the tackle. They tackle him like around the 14-yard line. I mean, at some point, I'm gonna challenge my inner doc. It's got to be a manhood issue. At some point, you got to step up and you got to take something away from this other team. You got to make them one-dimensional. You got to make them do what you want them to do. And right now, when he said passive aggressive, that's what it is. It's like their terms are being dictated to this team. They're not dictating the terms at all.
Big guy KG, I'm gonna put it on you, man. Talk to me. about because I know you hot too. So talk to me about last night, and uh, and then I got some questions for all y'all.
Well, first and foremost, the Midnight Riders stole my thunder because I was gonna say it was a manhood issue. But Chicago, they walked into our house, sat at our table, ate our food, burped in our face, and then goosed our wife. They came in and they took everything from us. And they did it with no resistance. That's a problem. That's a hellified problem. I don't understand how you can be so ginned up and prepared for a game, but don't be prepared at all. That's a problem. That's coaching. I agree with Oop when he said somebody should have been fired today. I thought Jack Del Rio was gonna get it. I just knew he was. It was no way in four hells he shouldn't have. We've been talking about firing him for quite some time. And Rick Snyder said it best. Is he gonna call this a dust up or is he gonna own up to it? This is a problem. I don't think the defense respects Del Rio to the point that they want to play for him anymore. This is not where it's at. If we're gonna continue to play like this, you might as well go ahead and just cancel the whole season and not even show up. That's how I feel. And for those of the fan base that say, well, fire Ron, let the enemy take over. The enemy hasn't earned the trust of these guys. You fire Ron, you're gonna have to bring somebody else in. Who you bringing in? Nobody has any solutions. You got you got problems. You got problems that need solving, but nobody ever got any solutions. Everybody just talking right now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, oh, we need another quarterback. Let Brissett play. You asked for Howell, you got Howell, now you mad. The same thing you did with Dwayne, the same thing you did with Case Keenum, every other quarterback. You asked for the backup, you get them, now you mad. This team is not playing inspired at all. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're not hungry. I guess they feel that they done read their press clippings, but they ain't who they think we are. And it shows.
Some quick stats from last night, and I got a crazy stat before I read the passing and rushing. I think it was 8:59 left in the second quarter. Sam Howell dropped back 55 times for the rest of the game. That is in that. Oops said it. This man got 6 games under his belt. He can't play secondary because they got torched last night. But to ask this dude to drop back and save the city when you got one really good back. I'm not gonna say that. I say I shit on Gibson because he fumbled so much. But you got two backs back there. And everybody said you got to be balanced to get back. You know you got to get scores quick, but you have to throw Robinson in there. You have to throw Gibson in there in some type of capacity to help balance the thing. If they know you're going to sit back and just pass it, I just don't get where that is. So Sam Howell, 37 to 51, 388, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Your leading rusher from last night, Sam Howell, 4 rushes for 19 yards. That is absolutely crazy. On the other side of the ball, Justin Fields, 15 to 29, 282, 4 touchdowns. And then their leading rusher was Herbert, 10 for 76. I got a question for all y'all, and I'll start with Oop. Um, let's go
Hey,
back to last let's go back
can
to
I say
last week's
something?
game.
Can I
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
something
Go
before
yeah,
you go way
fire
too
away,
far?
fire away.
Before you go way too far, it's we've been watching the football team for a very long time. With our own eyes, we can tell that that team is coached to play that way. You know what I'm saying? There's no other. They are coached to have a wide gap on third and four. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were saying, like how the defensive tackles was too wide. They are coached to. Derek Ford is way out of position because he ain't even really supposed to be on the field. We ain't seen Quan Martin for what reason, I don't know. I have no idea why we're not playing the kids that need to play. It's it's coaching. It's coaching Bieniemy isn't ready to be a head coach. You can tell he's not ready to be a head coach because he ain't running. He not balanced enough. He's not seeing the room really. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Nah, finish that thought, man.
No,
Nah,
finish that thought.
because he's not really reading what we do. And another thing, when you said something about Antonio Gibson, he dropped a swing pass for a first down last night. This is like he hasn't done anything productive in 2 years, bro. Like literally, give me something that he's done in 2 years besides maybe that one game. Didn't he have a breakout game one game
Yeah,
last year?
yeah, he did.
But that
He did. He
was
tore some shit up one game
yeah,
last year, and
yeah,
everybody was like, "Yeah, that's it."
yeah,
Yeah, but
he had three touchdowns early in the season or something wild like that. But other than that, he's a liability. And the fact that our offensive line cannot block, what do? They asking Sam, like you said, to almost save us in 50 times with a kid. Man, that's crazy. We see that the decisions that's being made are terrible. And then you're going to put a not as good a player at Brissett at quarterback. He's less mobile than Howell. He's going to look horrible. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We got a comment from James King. It says, "Go to the defenders and grab Greg Williams." That's something that is a sentiment
it's
that
not
the
the right.
big guy KG has
Exactly.
been begging for a long time.
Exactly.
It's not
I've
the
been.
right guy though.
I he
That
right around the corner. Why don't somebody just call his phone and just be like, "Hey, you got one job?" Like real talk. Like we don't put
Hey,
no pressure on nobody or nothing.
he not gonna answer because y'all spelled his name wrong.
Right. Yep.
G.
Right.
It's
Yep.
two G's.
he left the genius off.
It is. You gotta put some respect on that genius.
Yep.
Hey, I got a question for all y'all, and I want start with Oop. We go around the room, same order. Oop, Midnight Rider, big guy, I'm being serious. The game last week, AJ Brown, as tough as Forbes played him or tried to, do y'all think that killed some of his confidence?
My honest take about it all, I felt like he needed that. He did not help himself by having to check DJ Moore 4 days later. That didn't help him at all. You know what I'm saying? Because DJ Moore is a super game. That's a totally different receiver than AJ Brown, and
Absolutely.
he got exposed off of he got that's this his fifth game. We got to give all of these players that we got a problem with real quick how many amount of games they played. Forbes' fifth game. I kind of expect this. He wasn't the top corner taken. We saw what he did on tape coming out of college. It was more opportunity more so than man coverage. You know what I mean? He was doing a lot. It was a lot of zone. I'm still in the past more so than man coverage. He's in this system. I'm telling you, we all see it. We see that Del Rio is playing this. Please only get 7 yards and tackle him defense.
Oh wow, I like that. I think it's funny because I think Forbes did a good job, better job than we think on that ball game, and
You
I
talking
felt
about
the
the
way
AJ Brown ball game?
the AJ Brown ball game.
I thought so too. I thought so too, and I thought
I can agree. I
like
can
Oop
agree.
say
I can agree.
he's only in his fifth game, and you could tell like he's fresh in the league. Might have to muscle up a little bit because AJ was handling him. But I thought for the fight I saw with AJ, I like that. AJ Brown is AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna stop everything every time. But if you just see some fight, I like that. That's why I'm asking that question. And like Oop said, it didn't help. You got to turn around 4 days later and gear up again. So my bad, man. Not right. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. This is what we here for. I thought you were trying to say something. Go ahead and get yours too. Oop.
Nah, only thing I said was just with Emmanuel Forbes is he's got to know that for him to get better, he's got to face all of these guys right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the sun do shine on the dog's ass. You know what I'm saying? Because you could believe that one of these weeks he's going to be amazing. Shit, he should have about 3 interceptions if he don't drop them. You know what I'm saying? If he bring his hands to the game, he should have about 3 interceptions on his stats. And figure out what to eat in the morning because he way too light. That's it. The boy, I mean, he's great, got great potential. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Nah, you actually. That's why, because I knew what you were going to say, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Is the interception thing? He probably dropped 2 or 3 already. So it shows me he's seeing the game. He made a couple breaks against AJ, and then last night I don't even think it was him. I think he had some issues tackling on the hits on DJ Moore. But the other 2 touchdowns, that was on one was on Fuller, and the other was on Juice.
St. Jude. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't like Forbes got all of that wreck. I think Forbes got pulled more so because he wasn't able to help in the run game, and they was getting 8 yards a chunk, 9 yards a chunk. And the only reason Herbert's numbers aren't better is because he got injured, and he had that one run where he tried to cut, and that's after he got hurt, and he knew he couldn't do it, and he laid down.
Is it me? Is it me or is it St. Just and Fuller not fast? I think they're the slowest 2 corners I watch on Sundays. Each Sunday, I know I be watching a lot of football, and Fuller and St. Just gotta be the slowest 2 corners in the league, bro.
But I think some of that is too, and we saw it last night. It's like when they get toasted, it's like communication. So it's like a last second. Oh, I was supposed to be here, and you see them running behind. I think that has a lot to do with it. Like they don't have
Coach,
burners or nothing. But it's just like
coach.
last night. That was probably shit. We only 4 games in the season, and that was probably the worst communication in the secondary I've seen from any team this year so far.
I
We
think
got
that I think they're key. And I'm my last thing. Then
nah. Go ahead.
um, I think the key has to be you have to get Cam back up top, and you have to get Martin in the game. You got to make some personnel moves. This can't be status quo.
Right,
We can't go into Atlanta
right.
with the same 11 guys starting the ball game, because if we do, then that's a problem. I don't know if you got to change the mix of the reps that the D-line gets. I don't know, but something's got to happen. Some changes got to happen. If you're not going to change the coaches, and I don't see them changing the coaches, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is a 17-game season of purgatory. We're stuck with Ron, Rivera, Rio, and the enemy. So that's it. Go ahead, KG.
Big guy. I know you've been sitting over there stewing. The original question was, do you think Forbes lost some confidence last week with AJ Brown and then everything else we've been talking about? I know you've been sitting over there patient, man. Patient. I know the seat smoking. Go ahead, man.
But that's just because of the jalapeno and lime chips that I just had. But anyway, I don't think it was because of AJ Brown that he lost confidence. I think it's because of the fan base. That man got off of social media because they dogged him so bad for not being able to contain AJ Brown. Like, it's AJ Brown. Like, you can't dog somebody out for not containing an elite receiver who's also a rookie. What do you do to rookies? You test them. You go after a rookie every chance you get. If I'm the opposing quarterback and I see Forbes on my left, whatever receiver I got lined up on the left and he's on him, that's my one. I'm gonna attack him. So because DJ Moore had an awesome game, AJ Brown had an awesome game, he shouldn't lose confidence, because guess what? Every time he got kicked in the teeth, he got back up and got back on the horse. Shouldn't lose no confidence at all. That right there alone, him not getting mad, throwing his helmet, none of that. He shouldn't lose confidence for none of that, because he got back up and he got back in there. Anybody that
He shouldn't and did 2 different things, bro. I'm trying to tell you, he shouldn't and
he
did,
shouldn't.
and he shouldn't, but did is 2 different things. When you miss a tackle out there when it's 1-on-1, that's pretty much You in your head. You know what I'm saying? Because tackling, you can get yourself back in the game, but just tackling somebody, you made a whiff out there. That means your head's somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest about it, just being real honest about it. He should not, because he's a really good corner. He's a really good corner, you can tell. But you know what I mean? We watching it. We watched them lose, get cut. He watched them get torched for 3 tutties, and they dancing in there.
Yeah, I agree. But I just, it's a tough matchup. I think he'll be fine, but it's all about his mental capacity, what he's able to do mentally.
Yep.
Is he able to get out of his head and play football? That's how you'll judge that.
And
So
I think that's where he is. I agree with Oop. Like the boy got the ceiling. The ceiling's up there. You can see it. And I think, the Buffalo game, going to the Eagle game, coming to here, I think maybe, and it's okay for a kid that's in his fifth game to lose confidence. You got to go through those fives. You got to go through the tests. Everybody ain't Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner had a hell of a year last
Exactly.
year coming out. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But
Exactly.
yeah, but then you have the Peyton Manning year where your first rookie year, you got to get yourself together. So I'm not really worried about Forbes. I just wanted to see what the room thought about that. Um, where do we go next? James King with another comment. What's y'all opinion on his 4-2-5 defensive scheme? Start with you, Oop, and I'll go around the room. I'm gonna let y'all answer that.
I've been since I picked up this, got on the line. You need to trash that. What two linebackers? We got two linebackers, and they don't even run support well. You know what I'm saying? They don't even run support well. So why don't we have a third linebacker out there instead of having the fifth corner who also loses communication? He's back there lost too. Has anybody ever paid attention to how we play defense on the seams? A 14U team can run plays right up on the seam on us because it's easy picking. Anytime a big bomb touchdown happens, is they running it up the seam or inside the 20, they throw that fade because we run cover three until the end of the game. I get depressed watching the same defense. You don't think that they get paid millions of dollars to coach these teams, and I'm all the way in my apartment in Laurel telling I can sit and diagnose the shit. Where to go? It's bad. It's coaching. That's why I'm saying that today somebody like he should have been fired. They lost 14 straight games, bro. What the fuck? I mean, what is the excuse? What are we talking about? Like, what kind of excuse you want to do? You got 4 first-round draft picks that they talk 2 hours about, and yeah, so this the coaching. I mean, as much as we want to talk about these players, Del Rio been in the way. I'm with y'all, man. We need to see Double G come back around.
Hey, this show right here for the last 2 seasons. I'm not gonna put anybody else in it because it's been me. I've been calling for Jack Del Rio head for 2 seasons, last 2 seasons, for
Gotta
the
go.
exact reason because they don't make adjustments.
None.
They they won't conform. They won't like you
Nope.
can't run the same unless
Nope.
you're just the 85 Bears, no pun
Nope.
intended. You
Nope.
can't come out in the same stuff all the time. You
Nope.
can't sometimes your 4 first round draft picks, the shit they talk about all game, they're not gonna it has to be a team effort. Everybody gotta come. Sometimes you gotta rely on the secondary. Sometimes some guys are not gonna get to it. But it's just like if you're playing the same thing, it's like playing your dad in Madden, and he come out in I form all game. That's all he runs. And you like, Dad, I'm gonna smoke you in this. You coming out the same stuff. And like I just don't. Jack Del Rio has to have tape on somebody because it's to me it's crazy that he still has a job. We'll get to Ron Rivera later, but Jack Del Rio, I've been calling for Jack Del Rio for 2 seasons. Two.
You need to keep calling or call some more or something because it ain't happening fast enough. Eric, we all watching it. It's
it's
the
not going to
same
happen.
every Sunday. Every
Snare.
Sunday, same Sunday.
And I know the midnight rider. I know it's not going to happen. With it's just like to me, it's I think him and Ron get that pass because of the ownership transfer. Um, Midnight Rider, I'm a pass it to you. What do you think about the defensive scheme? Talk to me about that, and then we'll go to the big guy.
So the 4-2-5, I'm not too worried about. Honestly, I think their problem is everybody's in the same spot every time. When they come out in the 4-2-5, at left end it's going to be Chase Young. At left tackle, it's going to be John Allen. At right tackle, it's going to be Payne. At right end, it's going to be Sweat. You're going to have this guy corner, that guy corner. Like it comes out. They come out the same every single time. I'm trying to figure out, when are we going to switch this up? Like, when do you come out and maybe we go NASCAR and you put maybe Hill and Jamin Davis on the outsides, and you put Sweat and Young in the middle, and that's what you use. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to do something else. I'm watching Micah Parsons run up the middle. I'm watching what's my man Myles Garrett over the center. Why can't Chase be over the center? The only thing I don't like about what Chase does, and if you go back and watch, you'll see what I'm saying. Kyle Rudolph messed Chase Young up when we played New York last year. Kyle Rudolph caught him on a chip, and he been looking out his ear hole ever since. He been peeking. So when you put a tight end on his side, BJ, especially when we played y'all, when the tight end's on the outside of Chase, he'll patty cake with the tight end first before he makes his move. And it's like, dude, you got to go through him. Like, everything got to be attacked. And maybe that's where the coaching comes in, and they're telling you got to stay in your gap, and they're over-coaching him. So he doesn't feel like he has that freedom to just go. But Chase is a wild dog. You got to let that dog hunt. And the more and more he hesitates, it's like it takes some time to get there. And I just feel like he gotta just go. Like, this defense got to sometimes take things off, because I'll also watch where he goes inside and he'll take away an alley for John Allen. So I don't know, man. I think there's got to be more emphasis put on how we do things, because there's no identity again. It's two things I always talk about: identity and types. Y'all been with me for 2 years now, and I talk about it all the time: identity and types. And we got to figure out what our defensive identity is. I watched this team try to blitz, but we blitzed from so far back. The dude at the Wegmans coming on a safety blitz, you can't blitz from Wegmans. It's just doesn't make sense. And that's the problem I see with this team, is even when they mix it up and try to be aggressive, it's either too far away or they got to go around so much that they never get in there. Like, give me A-gap blitzes. Make it simple. Make it difficult on these jokers. Go ahead, KG.
I'm going to say this. Something you said, and this is when I say make up your mind. When Chase was free roaming and he was getting around people, he was just kind of playing what we like to call hero ball. Everybody was upset. Now he's staying a little bit more contained.
No. Finish your point.
Okay. Now he's staying a little bit more contained. You want him to go back to playing hero ball.
No, I don't want him playing hero ball. I just want him to go. See, there's a difference. See, I know when certain athletes, if they are dogs, certain guys are just sick 'em. Chase Young is a sick 'em. You just got to let him go. Same thing with Jamin Davis. I think Davis, if they just let Davis go and stop thinking, I think that's his biggest problem. Now, Barton, I just think they need to find a bench seat and let him sit on the sideline for a long time, and we could. But the only problem is, when he sits, all you got is Khaleke Hudson and what's his name? Khaleke Hudson is only Khaleke Hudson's small, so you got to watch out for that, because it's obvious that the guards are just coming out on duo and swallowing up our linebackers. So there's another issue. So yeah, I mean, and then Mayo, God knows we don't want Mayo on the field.
It's funny you say that, because remember in the offseason, we talked about it. You told me I was crazy. I said, do not let Cole Holcomb walk out of this building. You let Cole Holcomb walk. Now we don't have the talent that we need at linebacker.
I mean, but he's
Cole
honest.
Holcomb ain't solving no problems. He
He's
getting ran on in Pittsburgh.
I'm about to say he's honestly been less productive than Cody Barton has. Being super honest, if you look at any, because I've been checking on him just to make sure that I'm not tripping. Because Cody Barton, the numbers are showing us that Cody Barton is better than Cole Holcomb. I mean, and no, it looked straight. He looked a little more different on tape, but y'all go to see tackles and shit, games played. You know what I'm saying? Snaps played. I mean, we got the better bargain. Being
Now,
honest.
let me ask you this: could that be a scheme thing, or
Nah,
is it
it's
just player personnel?
we've been playing the same two linebacker scheme for how long he been here? 5 years, 6 years or something?
Too damn
Five,
long.
4 years,
right?
4 years.
We've
We on
been
year
we've been putting
4. It might seem longer, but we only on year 4.
oh man,
COVID makes everything long.
man, it because you see the same. It felt like forever because you keep seeing the same thing. Like why we the only team in the league with two linebackers, and why we don't have 6, 7 at the line trying to blitz. And like you said, why are we blitzing from Wegmans? Oh my gosh, the Bama start from the goalpost and come as fast as he can and never in the play. Never in the play.
And to piggyback though, back on that, the reason you don't, it's not just us. There's a lot of teams that they're in that two linebacker shell, and now that third person is
And
that
that
old. It's that
That
old
third
safety.
one is Landon Collins size. Cam ain't that size. Everybody got a real super athletic linebackers. That's all they are.
That's
Like
your will.
Landon.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking over
No,
you.
no, go ahead.
No, finish your point because we're about to finish the point together. I got you.
Yeah, because Landon Collins 230, 240. That's the size of that super. That's the third linebacker you need because you can literally line him up in the box instead of having him blitz from the emblem of the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? If
No,
that's
I
gonna
got
be your
totally.
if that's going to be your 5, you need to make him your 3 and then bump those tackles into A gaps and put those ends over tackles. And then you could go that way. You know what I mean? That's because they too wide in the linebackers you got are pass coverage linebackers. We can't stop the run. All 4 of us on this right now watch teams keep getting 3rd and 8 running the football, bro. That's not crazy to y'all.
We've been saying it for a while that this team, for whatever reason, and he just said something that, and I noticed it in the Buffalo game, and I thought maybe it was because they were trying to keep Josh Allen in check, but they play very wide, and that might be the reason that they're giving up those gashes going up the middle because they're playing so wide and those lanes are so open. So and it's like everybody here is saying the same thing. But we know when they play Atlanta next week, they're going to run the same stuff on the field, and it's something that Midnight Rider and Oop touched on. And Midnight Rider, you know we've said this on the why aren't you lining these guys up in different parts of the field? If I'm Jack Del Rio and I'm thanking the heavens I'm not, Justin Fields, I only want him. I want him to be on his ass every play. It's several teams in this league that and even when the Commanders aren't blitzing from the parking lot, they don't blitz well. Everybody gets picked up damn near. It's very rarely you see a successful blitz with them.
That's
So it,
violent.
but it's and
That's
it, and
violent.
it's not just them. It's several teams like that. They'll bring the house. Everybody gets picked up, and the
Yeah,
quarterback stand back there and pick them apart. The
yeah.
Commanders, for whatever reason, is one of those teams. And I've said it before. I just don't understand. If I'm Justin Fields and I know what Chase Young is if I know what Montez Sweat is every game, if I know what Allen and Payne is every play, and they're not mixing them up, that's one less thing I got to think about. These guys are lining up the same way, rushing the same time every time. The only time they're going to get in is not on scheme; it's just on pure athletic ability. Like Chase Young spinning off somebody, Allen and Payne bull rushing, Montez Sweat using his speed. It's not scheming. They're not scheming to get these guys free. And a blind man can see it at this point. And I'm with y'all. We know why it's not going to happen because These guys are getting a free pass because of the ownership change. But Jack Del Rio should have been packing his locker this morning and walking out that building getting egged. Big guy, you're so patient, man. I got something for you, brother. I got something for you. I'm gonna give you some more thought chips.
Look, I mean, the original question, this 4-2-5 defensive scheme, I hate it. I'm a traditionalist. Either you're gonna run a 3-4, a 4-3, or you're gonna run a 46. That's gonna be your base. We don't have the personnel to run a 46. We can run a 4-3 and get away with it, but we don't have a third linebacker. We can't run none of this. But the point that y'all made about them lining up, at one point in time, they talked about it. I remember I think it was year before last in training camp. Oh, you never know we're gonna line up. You know, Montez and Chase might line up on the same side. Allen and Payne might be on opposite sides, and y'all ain't even doing that. And whatever happened to Montez and Chase not even being handed the dirt? They just standing up, coming off the line like LT. They are more dominant like that.
Chase does that a lot.
He don't. I haven't seen him do it as much as he did in his rookie year.
Chase doesn't. It's actually rare that Chase puts his hand in the dirt now, from what I've seen. And maybe that's part because he's, I don't know, trying to get wide and keep his leverage, whatever it is. But KG, you got to give up your rotary phone, man. You got to give up the rotary phone, man. The 4-2 is what it is what the NFL is. If you look at the Bills, they're only playing your boy Milano and I forget 43's name.
Terrell Bernard, but you
They
just
are in A gaps. They are
Yeah.
defensive tackles in A gaps. Every team for the 4-2 got defensive tackles in A gaps. They got defensive ends in B gaps. They got defensive tackles in outside B gaps. Literally, tight ends and tackles have to always take an inside step on defensive ends on a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it's an inside step, then it's wide. That's how small the splits are. We line up in this a center and a guard. All they got to do is stick their hands out and chip block, and it's 10 yards up the middle each time.
And you just said something, Matt Milano. That's why that worked, because he is he's a hell of he might not be the most athletic guy, but when it comes to football awareness, that boy know where it's supposed to be, where to put everybody and how to communicate on defense, and you just don't see that with the Commanders. It's just they don't. If they had Matt Milano, this be a different defense. It'd be a completely
you got a
different
competent
defense.
linebacker.
Yeah, you had a competent linebacker, a damn near elite linebacker. I mean, what is Matt Milano? What's Matt Milano? Top 7, top 6, middle. He's outside backer.
I don't know. I mean, again, with the 4-2 stuff, with everybody playing a nickel coming out, because most teams are playing 3 wide receivers. So it's not even like that's the reason why I hear you guys when you talk about the 4-3, but you're never really in it. It's like you never get a chance to be in it. So why this group, from what I've seen, figures out why are we going to invest in linebackers? We got 4 linebackers on the roster, fellas. There's only 4.
And they're all trash.
They are. I still want Milo Eifler or one of the young guys to come up and take a spot, because
where's Andre Jones?
Well, Jones not even going to play true linebacker, isn't that's the kid they've been playing that in.
You can put him at strong and at least have him go get the quarterback. Isn't that what that 5th man does anyway? Or you can have Jamin Davis just always retreat. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really weird how they construct your linebackers. You got 2 that's linebacker size but don't hit holes, and the other 2 are not like. You know what I'm saying? They got 2. You got 2 that are undersized and don't cover well. So what do we? I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry.
You said something about Midnight Rider. You said something about Chase earlier, that he's a sick'em guy. I felt that way about Jamin Davis, because remember in the Detroit game last year, when he got turned loose, he was hitting them holes.
Exactly.
Jamin Davis' only problem is he likes to hit people in the head. Like if he can stop,
don't give a damn.
No, I'm talking about when he's tackling the quarterback. That's where he gets his first fouls at. But that's his only problem.
Yeah, I mean, he need to not that him being in the scheme is too much. You know what I'm saying? Just point him down here, like you said, sick him, point him down here, because he showed it in the Detroit game, and every time you actually do sick him, he does do a good job. I just hate him in pass coverage.
Yes.
I hate them that they keep lining up, splitting them out wide in one of these wide receivers. Man, you know what I'm saying? Every running back is a wide receiver now. So what are we doing?
Let's switch gears real quick. We got to talk about the offense a little bit.
All right, that was enough. All right, let's go.
Look, we've been saying it. We've been saying it the last couple of games, and you know, I haven't got to watch all 22, but just from the clips I can see, I know, you know, Sam's inexperienced. That's a given. I get that, but most of the clips I see is a scheme. Why can't these receivers get open? If you look when Sam takes a coverage sack, especially, there's nowhere to throw the ball. There is, most of the time, you can't even say, "Hey, he was open." The throws, like the Terry catch in the Eagles game, that was contested. Everything he has to throw, damn near, besides the other catching the Philly game, he was wide open. But it's contested, or nobody's getting open. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. This is the only offense. It's like they can come out and they show you like, hey, we might have something here. Like, all right, they moving the ball in Philly. Sam led the comeback. Very impressive. And then they had the games like Buffalo where, shit, we forgot how to do this. Like, shit, why are we out here? What are we supposed to do? Somebody please enlighten me. Because Sam can't throw 50 times a game.
The problem is the execution early. So, like, let's take last night. Last night, you go 6 yards on first down. You actually get 4 on the first down with the pass to Logan Thomas. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, the ref marks it short, even though he doesn't give him credit for stretching the ball out as he was going out of bounds. Right? Okay. So that becomes 3rd and short. And then Nick Gates gets blown up on 3rd and short, and now you punt. So you're already down 7-0. You punt. Now you're down 14-0, right? Or 10-0. It was a very quick 3-and-out. The next set of downs, you go 3-and-out again, and now you're down 17-0 before you even get started. And then somewhere in that mix, and I don't know if the De'Ami Brown post was before that or after that they got that field goal, but that's another play. Like, this team has left plays on the field, and they're not good enough to leave plays on the field. Like, right now, you're operating with a window that's this small for you to execute and to get it right. And if you can't get it right in that window, it's going to look bad. And I think because of that, now you're down 17-3, and what you're doing, you're chasing points. Now you got 55 plays where there's no scripted run play.
And I get what you're saying, but I'm even talking about just when they're in games. Like, it's nowhere to throw the ball for Sam a lot.
So all right, and I'm glad you said that, because when I see it, I think part of the problem, and this is why I'm not super gung-ho on like, oh, let's just give EB the reins. I think he's still trying to find his way as a play caller. I think there's some things that he's not seeing, or he's calling certain stuff, but they're not getting that right play. And last night, outside of the Yami's post that was overthrown, you really never saw a guy free running in the defense. Mm-hmm. Everything was a little bit contested. Every now and then you catch Logan or you catch Terry coming across the field, but nothing else really. It's only like 3 or 4 times. It should be 6 or 7 times that this is happening where you schemed up something against something you saw on tape and you get a free runner. And that's the problem that they have. They're not getting that right now. So that's, to me, that's on either EB or that's on Pritchard, the QB coach, because somebody got to see something in the tape where we scheme something open because this team does this. You know what I'm saying?
Chicago damn sure did.
Exactly.
Chicago definitely did.
But that's because we play 3 differences. We play man under, we play cover 2, and we play cover 3. That's it.
It's like I don't want to put everything on Sam. We got another comment from James King. Defense is playing shell cover two on us. Got to be patient and hit the underneath. I mean, that's yeah. I mean,
The kid don't take a profit right now. That's the other problem.
yeah, you got to take the profit when it's there. You got to take something. And then the other thing I touched on in the beginning, and Oop said it. They ran the ball 10 times. Like even when you get down, you still got to have some type of balance on the field to keep people honest. That's where your buffaloes and stuff come into play because there's a threat and you have to honor the threat. If you the Miami, you have to honor that threat because of Tyree, because of Tua, and it's just like it's no threat. Yes, Sam can get you a couple yards, but I mean, it's not like he on roller skates or nothing. He's running in quicksand, so he can get you some yards, but that's not what he's there to do. So it just becomes a question. Like I know, like if you got to give a percentage of blame out, you put a little bit on Sam Howell because he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to see everything. But the bulk of it has to go on Eric Bieniemy because it's like, what are y'all prepping?
It's not. I don't think it's prepping. I think what it is he's when you're a first time play caller. Sometimes you get caught in certain rhythms, and then once you get caught in the rhythm, you don't have that person that brings you back. Like, hey, let's get that. Let's hit a draw here. Let's hit something else here. Let's hit that screen. And I think what's going to happen for the Commanders to get better, and I don't know if this is already happening. It could be already happening. Is when he's talking to Brissett, Howe, and DeVita, Pritchard, like they got to start saying, "Hey, let's get a draw in here every now and then."
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Let's do this here and there. But that's their problem right now. I just don't feel like they do enough diverse things in the run game, off script, like or off what you normally do.
And James King with another comment. Not when you're down 24 in the first half, and I get that. But it's the same thing with the defense. If you keep coming out with the same thing, and now the Bears defense can sit back, there's no threat. You have to throw a draw in it. 1st and 10, 2nd and short, 3rd and short. You have to throw something in there to make them think that after if he dropped back 55 times from the end of the second quarter to the end of the game, now you're in your head like, oh, they're not going to run the ball. We're not coming up here. I can sit on these passes now. I can sit in these lanes because they're not going to run the ball. It's no, and then it's then if you're really good at picking up cues, I'm sure the offensive line and certain people have cues. You be like, they're passing the ball. They're passing the ball. He lined up a certain way. He got his feet a certain way. He lined up whatever it is. Big guy, what's up, man? Talk to me, man.
When we discuss the offense, I said it. What was that? Wednesday when we went on. When we discussed the offense, Oops said it. I think Antonio Gibson is starting to become a liability. I won't even say starting to. I'll say he is a liability right now.
Yeah.
Because he'll make a play, but then he'll make 3 good plays in a row and then he'll fumble the ball. We'll get in the red zone. He'll fumble the ball. Brian Robinson has to carry the ball between 15 and 20 times every game. This dude runs like a Mack truck. How do you take the pressure off a young quarterback? You run the ball. We don't even do that. It's like they want to put everything on Sam, and Sam is not – he's not a bad quarterback. But like Oops said, this is this dude's 6th game of his whole entire career. We're essentially dealing with a rookie. If we're dealing with a rookie, you have to treat him as such. And to treat him as such, you have to run the ball. You have to establish the run game early. 10 carries in the first half, 10 rushes in the first half? No, we can't do that. And I don't want to hear this about, this is Eric Bieniemy's, he's just getting used to being a play caller. This dude has been around the game the last 30 years. Go ahead.
No, I was going to make a quick statement.
Go ahead.
A wise man once told me that assistant coaches make suggestions, head coaches make decisions. So there's a difference between when you the second guy, and when you the main guy. So there's a difference there. That's
I
all.
got you. I got you. And I get that. I get that. However, not gonna say but, however, Eric Bieniemy is calling the game how he see fit. I'm not saying, oh my God, leave him alone, but something has to change. Offensively, we can't go out and try to beat the world. I think we need to go to a more clock management style. I know Midnight Rider, you're gonna give me shit about it. Ground and pound. Run the ball 30, 35 times. Chew the clock. But you can't get 3, you got to get 7. And when we run the ball, it's like once we get in the red zone, they stop running the ball. You want to pass now. So much wrong. It's like a 2008 Toyota Corolla with a blown head gasket, the back bumpers hanging off, and need tie rods and suspension. So much wrong. But if you start fixing it piece by piece, you'll be fine.
This is a gremlin, brother. This ain't no Toyota.
Well, it starts up. It runs well. I mean, the oil ain't been changed since 09, so it's going to start up every day. A little puff of white smoke, but it's fine.
This is the Facebook ad where it be like the dude be like, "Hey man, it run good, but it got flat tires. You got towed away though, and you can't start it up. Don't start it up." Oop, you still there with us?
Yeah. I'm still here. I ain't gone
Hey,
nowhere.
hey man, what talk to me offensive? What you see wrong offensively, and like what's your blueprint? Because they shown you that they can have success. They can move the ball when it's time. Maybe if they play the Eagles every week and get up for it, they can move the ball. But what is the blueprint for this offense to move the ball and be successful? And what's wrong here? Like I want the same. I want the same snapshot you gave me on defense. Give it to me on offense.
So what I see, what we probably all see, one is I like that term that y'all use, take the profit. I like that. The offense he's taking, from my vantage point, he taking too many 5-step drops. He ain't. That ain't it. Well, he could throw that quick ball pretty decent in a window with that gun he got. But I'm mad at the scheme. The scheme has taken away Jahan Dotson. The scheme has made the boy. All right, so this is a hot take, and I know everybody. I know, not really. I don't catch slack for it or nothing like this. But the best hands on the team are are Jahan Dotson's. I know I ain't everybody not gonna agree with me there, but the best hands on the team is that boy. And as an offense, we don't run to set up the pass because we can't pass block. And the boy, like you say, I don't want him checking the ball down because his offensive scheme has no real check down, and their check down is 12 yards down the field. Logan Thomas in the middle of the field because they think it's Travis Kelce, and it's not. I just feel like the play call. I feel like the play call. I feel like what he said was right. Once he get in a rut of pass, he forget to run. When all of our good games against anybody, remember the 11-0 game we played against Pittsburgh that Thursday night, to get us in the playoffs, win the division at 7-9. We ran the ball 33 times, bro.
Sure did.
They was 11-0. Like we didn't even care. Like we had, I forgot who was our quarterback. Like it was somebody that was Alex Smith. Like we had nothing going on, and we still won the game. Like Like you said, we need to run the ball. I know it's a really odd thing for us with this Eric B. Enemy thing, but we need to run the ball. Gore need to be in the game. Um, Robinson needs to run the ball because we can't trust Gibson. I don't trust that.
I honestly think they need to give Gibson more variety in his opportunities. Like last night, you saw him catch the fade up the sideline. I think you gotta give him stuff like that. You gotta give him the
He dropped the 3rd and 5. Remember that was the one that was going to
yeah,
get us.
hey, but let's
That
talk.
was
You said the guy
that's the
you said
one.
that had the best hands, Jahan
That's the
Dotson, last week dropped the 3rd and 4 that he keeps the drive
no.
alive.
And he ain't had the ball thrown to him in 2 games before. He had 0 targets the week before that.
I
0.
understand, but he gotta take advantage of the opportunities he get.
Yikes.
You
I
got
mean,
to.
when
You got
you
to.
he's coming off a year where he was targeted more than McLaurin.
Okay. I mean, all right. So
You
here's
know
the thing, though. I hear what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong. But what I see is, as I've watched some of the stuff back, I've seen situations where just Howell has just missed them, and maybe
Yeah,
that's a product of the
yeah,
pressure, or
yeah.
maybe that's a product of Howell not reading the field the right way. And that's the
I,
one question we can never answer. Is
I, I, I can agree with that one. I can agree
right.
with that one right there.
So when he sees it, is he saying like, is it supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4? And sometimes if Dotson's 4, I mean, we've seen the pressure. That kid's not even getting the 4 most of the time.
Right, he's not even getting the 3.
Right.
One, because like a lot of the time the drops are too long. That 5 is too much. We don't have the tackles for that. I said it earlier that Charles Leno is a liability, and that poor fucking Wiley, excuse my language, that poor Wiley is trash.
Hey, you see the header, right? The header,
Oh my
you okay with what you just said? The header's right.
God. Oh God, yeah, yeah. He just dog. He is fucking trash, man. Like serious business. Like that's a complete that. Like our line, everything's out of position. Like I don't know what is going on, and then we expect a guy that's played 6 games to know how to maneuver the pocket. Man, the man is terrified. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like after the first read, he has to bring his eyes down because there's somebody in his face. That's why he keeps spinning like a damn blender back there. And it's like you don't even need to spin, just stand there. You know what I'm saying? But he's just so worried one of them hoe ass tackles gonna let one of the dudes in. That's all it is. Our tackles are terrible. They're
Can we
terrible.
can we clip that? I just want the whole ass tackles.
Yeah, most definitely. Where's my pen? Go get my pen. I need my pen. I need my book.
one
But here's
one
the
hour
crazy part.
3 minutes, and I think it's 1 hour 2 minutes and 45 seconds is about
Gotcha.
when that happened.
Gotcha. Here's the thing. We know Leno is getting beat,
Like a
but do you
drum.
know he's been rated one of the highest tackles the last 2 weeks, even though he's getting his ass handed to him? How the fuck is he rated high?
I haven't believed PFF in 18 weeks, man. I mean, because we are all football watchers. We are watching Charles Leno get destroyed by no name dudes.
And
Hey,
it's
I can't
crazy.
even stop laughing. I'm supposed to be moderating.
But that's the
This
crazy part. Pro Football Focus is I mean,
All right, hold on, hold
I
on,
still
hold
want
on, hold on, hold
I
on.
still want my job back. I applied for a job there. Leave me alone.
Hold on. So I see Oop and Big Guy. Y'all cut from the same cloth. This is definitely a 2-on-1 situation.
Man, that's my guy. What you talking? That's my guy.
Yeah. I see this now. Y'all both got rotary phones at home. I see how it is. Y'all believe in run game. I see it. I see it
Well,
now.
you gotta believe in the run game. What
You
is
No, no, no,
gotta
no, no, no. See, all right. So let's talk because we talk about identities all the time. You guys are. You probably want to come out with 2 tight ends, I
no.
formation.
No,
You-
I want you to look like it's passing and still be able to run. I want
Okay.
space on the field. That's all. I want
you?
three I still want 3 wides Don't I could go pro set. Give me pro set and get me 3.3 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking you to hit a home run. I'm asking you for 4 yards.
All
That's
right.
it.
You know what I want to see, and I had said this before. I want to see if you can't get the ball in Terry's Jahan, you can't get it in there, and Curtis. If you can't get the ball in their hands passing, why not Debo them? Line them up in the back. This is what we talking about. Do something different. Set them in the backfield. Toss them the ball. Do something. You like
With what
do
line?
something.
With what
Yeah,
line?
and I get that, and I get that. But it's like I feel like you can scheme
You can run
trickery.
block.
You can run block. You
Run
can
block.
scheme.
All you gotta do
You
is
can
go
run block a
forward.
little bit and try to scheme something. But it's just like you have to find wide receiver screens. Like get the ball in these guys' hands. They you got 3 playmaking receivers. They proven if they can get the ball in their hand, they can make something happen. But you gotta find different ways to get on the ball. And Sam taking 5-step dropbacks, and on the 3rd step,
Right,
the guard is already getting blown up.
right.
It's not gonna work.
Guys, we also got to remember Sam Howell's only 6 feet, and he
Yeah,
probably already leads the league in better down passes.
But
So
hold on.
Shorten the drop. Shorten the drop. It's easy.
Hey,
The window is
even if he's short,
open.
if he's
The
short,
window,
it's going to be harder for him to see sometimes.
but the
but
pressure ain't gonna be in his face. The pressure's not there. I'll live with that. I'll live with a batted ball because you don't have pressure in your face than you getting stepped on by the guard and the defensive end is swiping at your shoulder pad. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather it be that. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
No, I
Because
get what you're saying. I'm trying to.
we all on the same page. I really feel like we all on the same page, but we're in that pocket for a guy playing 6 games. I don't want nothing at his feet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the quarterback's issue. Shit at the feet. And I don't want nothing at the feet for him. If he can
So
do shit with clean feet, Sam is good.
I
how
think the
about
other
this?
issue is he's watching it. Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
anticipating the windows. I
right.
feel like when I watch him play, I see a
That's
guy that's in a new system
hmm
and he's still trying to figure out, or he's waiting. Maybe he's still in that college mode where he's waiting for someone to get open before he throws them open. And
yeah.
maybe that's going to be something that comes with him playing quarterback more and more. So maybe at week 10,
hmm
we'll see this offense work better because he's throwing with anticipation. And I don't know if he's really throwing with anticipation right now.
Man,
Here's the question.
6 games. It's 6 games. It's six. I gotta keep. Because I be mad at Sam. It's 6 games. You know what I'm saying? And the first game you played, they wasn't even playing for nothing. So it was kind of false.
No, that's why I said week 10. By week 10, we should start seeing that growth. Go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
No, this is a question. Sam Howell's not your first quarterback that's 6 feet or less. We've seen Drew Brees make a Hall of Fame career out of being what, 5'9", 5'10"? Doug Flutie, Hall of Fame career, 5'7", 5'8". And I say Hall of Fame career because we're talking Pro Football Hall of Fame. He is probably the greatest quarterback to play in the CFL. So please don't judge me. I don't have to. Don't make me pull up the numbers. But
No,
Football,
you
football. I know they goalposts in the middle of the end zone, but it's still running tackle. You
them in
right.
in that 140-yard field. But I mean,
In
but
3 downs.
but
And look,
you
and that Nerf football they throw with those 2 big white stripes on. It's like a Nerf with the wind chime on the back. My fault, y'all.
What was
but
that Nerf that had like the wing on it?
yeah.
Yeah, the joint with the wing on it go woo.
But my point is, when you got a shorter quarterback, how do you rectify him not being able to see over his line? Because most offensive linemen are anywhere between 6'3" and possibly 6'8".
Pistol, shotgun. If he's short, pistol,
Move the
shotgun.
pocket,
Yeah,
rollouts, zone
but
blocking up front.
But we keep running into this dilemma. We know Charles Leno ain't a good pulling tackle. We know that Andrew Wiley is not a good mobile tackle. We got two stones at the end who halfway pass block. So why not just make them point them forward and run block them? You know what I'm saying? That's I keep saying it, but
And
it's some
I,
hard
I
stuff.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, Midnight Rider, you say we got to get rid of the rotary phones. I don't have to go 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, and I don't have to go that. We can
Mm-mm.
go shotgun
Yep.
with 3
Yep. And run
receivers
the
and
ball.
run the
Yeah,
ball.
like teams do on us. They've lined up 5 linemen, 3 wide receivers, pistol,
Yeah.
set, go. 7, 8 yards of carry. That we all watched this game, and each drive kills us. That first drive where they were getting 7.7 yards of play, yeah, all right. And you get the ball starting at the 25, you only need 6 plays to either kick a field goal or attempt a touchdown.
Yep. And the
Yeah.
thing is, if we can run, we got the running back.
No, we don't.
Nah, we
We,
don't.
we don't have a running back. What's wrong?
No.
Are we not on a
Listen,
Brian Robinson train? What did I miss?
I've had this dilemma. If you paying attention,
We
like
don't have
week
running back.
2, I said we may need a running back
We need a running back.
because I think Brian Robinson's a plotter. I don't think he sees everything, and I think
Yeah.
the problem with Antonio Gibson is he's not strong enough in his lower body where he
Right.
is hit, he falls.
Yeah.
So we need that one guy with that dynamic thing.
We, we got ham with no burger. We got one thing without the other. Like Brian Robinson don't have the elusive of Antonio Gibson, and
Right,
Antonio Gibson ain't got no damn tough about him.
right.
So we got
Like we
two.
put them together.
Yeah, if we could fusion them, like you know what I'm saying, if we could put them in the fusion and have a Brian Gibson or something, or Antonio Robinson or something, we'd be all right.
You know what my problem with Brian Robinson is? I want him to go downhill more and stop dancing. I want
Yes,
him. I want when he puts his shoulder down
one
and he
cut.
one cut when he makes his decision, he puts his shoulder down. That's the Brian Robinson Jr. that I need to see. The
Yeah.
dancing, I don't want to see that shit. I
I
want
don't want
you to
that
hit the hole.
and keep it
Uh,
going.
we got a comment from
Lee Ice.
Leroy Eisen?
Lee Ice.
Lee Ice.
Let's call him Lee Ice.
Chris Rodriguez needs carries.
And I
I
think
gotta talk to you about it.
he would have gotten carries, but I think he was sick this week.
Yeah, he was
You said he
hurt
was
this week.
sick.
Yeah, he was DMP this week.
Okay.
They had him.
Fellas,
They had him out from Monday. They had him out for. He didn't even practice all week. He was out from Monday.
Ross, what's going on? Ross, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm like, hey, better late than never, Ross. Welcome.
See, you said something, BJ. You said something about that dancing. Like I can't stand a running back that comes to the hole and dog just run. Either run through the motherfucker like X-Lax or get the hell out the way.
Yep.
It's one or the other. Like you dancing, that's an extra 3 yards that you could have got.
Yep.
But I see that on a defense. I can't stand to see defensive ends do that either. They come up out of their stance. Dog, what are you doing? I'm just gonna shove you and move out. Get the fuck out of the way.
It depends on what type of DN you are. If you're a speed guy like Sweat, you
Sweat
got
moves though.
But that's what I'm saying. You got the speed, you got the feet to do that. It's and don't I'm not saying I don't think Chase Young is as quick as Sweat, but Chase Young got more power. You want to see him run through people. You think Chase is faster than Montez Sweat?
Yeah, because Chase is. I mean, all right. So Montez,
faster, quicker.
There we go. That's the better word.
Sweat is
no.
quicker than
Sweat is faster. Young is quicker.
Okay, I give you that.
And see, both of them got power. You know what I want to do? I want to text both of them and send them Reggie White highlights. Learn how to do the hump move, dog. Just to get yourself free. Start tossing people the fuck around. Get to the quarterback.
Wasn't Warren Sapp here in the offseason?
Yeah.
That was here in the offseason. I think actually they need to go. They need to. Chase is better. His best rushes this year have been when he started using his hands, swiping hands, taking that inside hand away or the outside hand away, and swinging around, or when he chops those hands down and he goes on that inside rip. But the only problem is sometimes when he's taking that inside rip, I feel like he and John Allen don't have any level of communication, and they actually bump into each other way too much, and they cause troubles for each other by not having a certain level of communication.
Have we had a game this year? Have we had a John Allen dominant game this year? Like where he just taking over a game?
Yeah,
It's he ain't. He's not gonna be the one. I promise you. Teams have already bulletin board that Allen won't be the one to defeat them because they know when Allen is at the best, the defense is at the best. Payne getting off. That's just Payne getting off because the scheme got him one on one way more
Yep.
than Allen. So Allen teams have automatically X'd out Allen. And so every week when we next watch the following Sunday, how many double teams Allen gets. He never is single team. It's only Payne that's single that got one on one.
Ross,
What's
welcome to
up?
the show.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Man, doing good, man. We venting tonight.
Yeah, it's a good night to vent. Good night to vent. The
Yeah, it's
same,
going.
same shit. Every year, it's the same thing. Ever since Ron Rivera took over, it's the same damn stuff every year. And then
keep
he's
going,
just like, it's on me. It's
keep
on me.
going.
Well, no shit, it's on you. It's on you. Del Rio, you're going to keep Del Rio. It's the same thing. I mean, the guys didn't play that well, but they got to be put in position to make a play. They got to be put in a position. It was. I almost went to bed. I've never gone to bed on a Redskins Washington football team. Almost went
Because
to bed because I had to
because
get
of
up at 4
coaching.
o'clock in the morning. I had to get up at 4
Because of
o'clock in the morning.
coaching. He was pissed off at coaching. I'm gonna tell you that.
Well, coaching, but just they didn't play. How's a team that unprepared for a team that hasn't won for over a year? How do you lose to a team like that? That shit doesn't even happen on Madden when you play. It was ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't make any sense. I mean, Josh Harris is taking notes, but he's not going to fire anybody until the season's over. But he's smart enough to look back at this tenure, and it mirrors what happened in Carolina. He had the Super Bowl, and then he went right downhill. It's the same thing. Ron Rivera's a guy. He's not the guy. He's just the guy. He changed the culture. He took them through all the stuff and all the crap and everything. And that's it. That's all he can do. He can't take you to that next level. He can't.
The
So
one thing, I'm sorry. The one thing we've said on this show consistently, and it's five of us here now, and everybody's saying the same thing. The Ron Rivera led whether it's the Redskins, the football team, the Commanders,
Right.
they are not prepared to play football.
Right.
And when they win games, it's on an emotional wave of whatever. And if we can see it, I know Josh Harris is going to say it. I know Magic Johnson see it. I know all these guys are seeing and taking notes. Magic blasted the team yesterday.
I saw that. I'm glad he did. You know what? I'm glad. And just like I think it was Danny Rouillet who said, I don't need him calling down and saying, oh, well, I wish he'd have run the ball more, done this. But what he did was fine. You know what? That's his investment. And they played like shit. Every game that they've had at home this year, they've played terrible. Josh Harris is trying to get people in the stands. They've played terrible. Who wants to go see that mess? Nobody wants to see that. I can stay at home for free and turn it off when I want to and go to Red Zone.
Yeah. I said at the beginning of the show, I really felt like when Chicago scored that first touchdown, you could feel it on TV. It just sucked the air out of the stadium because everybody's like,
oh, shit.
the Bears just scored on us. Like, and it wasn't like a grimy out, getting the end zone 6 point. It was because if he had hit the receiver he missed on the first play, Mooney, that was a touchdown.
Yeah.
So when
he
I
was open.
saw,
That was just
he was wide
pass.
open. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, that was a miscommunication somewhere. They'll tighten it up. And then you see the passes on the rest of the drive. You like, and the first thing I thought when the boy caught the touchdown, I'm like, They saw something.
Yep.
They saw something, and they're going to attack this, and they did it the rest of the game. And at no point did anybody make an adjustment. At no point did they say, you know what,
Right.
what we doing right here not working. Let's switch it up. Let's try
Right.
something else.
Well, Tevin Jenkins, the guard that they drafted out of Oklahoma State, said in his post-game presser, he was like, we knew they were going to be in either this or this.
Right.
And then all we had to do was watch the safety. If the safety pre-snap did something, we knew what we had, and vice versa.
Right.
That tells me already that you're not self-scouting yourself correctly. And then real quick, when Ross said Ron Rivera is not meant to be here, I said this a year ago. Ron Rivera is like Moses. He gonna get you out of Egypt. He just can't get you to the promised land.
Right. 100%.
Go ahead, KG.
Hey, we need to clip a whole bunch of stuff on this night. What's it, 120?
Now I'm gonna say this. Now I'm not a theologian. You know, I didn't go to school for divinity, but Moses did at least bring the people to the River Jordan. At least.
Again, he didn't get them to the promised land though.
Well, they had to wander in the desert for 40 years because when he went up on the mountain to receive the 10 Commandments, look what happened when he walked away. So they had to pay for their sins.
We've wandered in the desert for 23 years.
Tell him, Ross.
God damn it.
Preach,
No,
Ross.
you wandered in the desert for a little longer than that.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm on the fence. Do you, and I'm asking this to everybody, do you get rid of Ron and kick him out of the building altogether with Hurney, Mayhew, everything that he's built in the front office? Do you kick all of them out, or do you just say, hey, Ron,
Yes.
I'm gonna take the head coaching job from you and push you upstairs?
What did they build?
Oh,
What did they build?
Yes.
Yeah.
They gotta go.
Yeah,
Yes.
what did they
I
build?
can't
They haven't built
kick him
anything.
upstairs.
They built-
I can't kick him upstairs after this. I mean,
They gotta go.
They gotta go.
You got to clean the whole house.
You gotta go.
You got to clean it all. It all stinks.
You gotta
It
go.
all stinks. You got to start from the ground up. And
Gotta
last night was the same thing. Look, you should have had 3 games that you won, or at least had a chance to win. They had no chance to win the game.
Ron like a new maintenance man. When you move somewhere, he like the new maintenance man who want to work hard and come. He actually come fix the sink when you call him or something like that. But he ain't do nothing fantastic.
No, he's Bookman. He's Bookman from Good Times.
That's it. He
ain't
just
doing
came.
shit.
He just came in and stopped the leak, but he ain't do nothing to the building. So it's time for new management. That's all.
Right.
Just we need to run it differently. We appreciate you for not letting the building completely burn down and disintegrate. But you can leave. We
may go.
Yes, we have room, so much room for improvement. Like every week, it's not changing. I don't know why everybody's expecting the enemy came in and just drew some different plays up, so that looks different. But the rest of the game looks the same trash. Same trash.
Yep.
If the other team is going to outscore us, we're going to lose. I'm sorry that sounds really weird to say, but they're going to just keep outscoring us. Our defense is trash.
What's been the problem for the last 4 years? The offense, 18 points a game, 19 points a game. Eric Bieniemy's come in and they're scoring points. They're scoring points. The defense is giving up over 30 points a game. Was it 32 points a game or something like that? 33? I mean,
yeah, they gave up. Last night made over 120 in the last 4 games.
Right. But I can't see, like before I was kind of on the fence. Well, maybe they could kick him upstairs. But you know what? He hasn't addressed the offensive line in 2 years. He brought in two guys was like throwing me out there trying to block last year. Trey Turner and some other fat out of shape dude trying to block.
Greg Norwell, which was trash. They both got them. They both got cut in the preseason from Carolina, and Carolina finished dead last in the league. So you
Ron love him some Carolina guys.
Yeah. But he's done
that
it. Look,
cut
go back and
from
look
the
at
worst
his
team in the
stuff
league.
in Carolina, and now it's the same thing. It's the same damn thing.
Now the question was, what did Marty Hurney, the brain trust, Hurney, Mayhew, Ron, what did they do? Now, this is what I say they did, because you drafted Chase Young, you drafted Antonio Gibson, Khaleke Hudson, Cam Curl, 7th round draft pick that's panning out. Cosme St. Juice, De'Ami Brown, John Bates, Derek Forrest, William Bradley King, Jahan Dotson, Fedarian Mathis, Brian Robinson, Sam Howell, Cole Turner.
Yeah.
These are names that they picked up. So, I mean, they did their homework.
They
and
did.
I don't want to not give them credit for this. I don't want to say, oh, well, it was just so bad that, they got to go. This is not.
It hasn't translated to wins. It has. I mean, they.
I see where you're going. I see where he's going.
Yeah.
You give him credit for picking up the talent.
Right.
And what Bill Parcells say,
groceries and
I don't care. I'm not gonna give that man. I'm not gonna give that man no credit for picking up talent when you traded up for Cameron Cheeseman. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
This man traded up to get a long snapper.
Yep.
Are y'all? What are we talking about here? Yeah, you managed to get Fedarian Mathis, who didn't even been on the grass. What? You don't get no pass for that. You picked best available. He picked best available. That wasn't no. He did some scouting. You picked best of his best draft pick so far has been benched last night. Emmanuel Forbes. That was probably your best strategic pick you've made since you've been here. You and
that kid.
Yeah, I feel horrible for him. They kept trying to line. They kept trying to line him up against number ones each week. You cannot do that. Put Kendall Fuller on number ones. They were supposed to babysit him. You know what kind of stretch that boy just had? He just had Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, and DJ Moore.
Right.
He probably don't know what the hell getting ready to happen with Drake London this week coming up. What the world?
Let's let the Midnight Rider jump in there because he's been sitting there. Let's let him jump in and.
No, I was gonna say let's just get back to like running around the cycle, so that way we're not talking over each other. Because everybody got great points to make, and I'm loving this format and loving this situation. Only thing I was gonna say is I just think we need to get out of the. If I'm Josh Harris, the first thing I tell Ron is, if you want to be a coach, the head coach next year, the opportunities of just hear me out. Hear me out. You have the opportunity to fight for your job, but I am coming in. I'm giving you this year with your crew, the Marty Party. Now, once the season's over, I'm bringing in my guy, my GM, and we're doing this totally different. We're not going to be coach centric. We're going to be GM centric. So get on board. And if you don't want to do it, then you already know you're not going to be here next year. And that's how I would actually say that to him.
Big guy, do you agree with that? Do you give Ron another opportunity?
I don't think I'm the right person. I can finally admit it. I'm not the right person to ask that question because it's more based off emotion for me. Because I like Ron. I would run through, if you gave me the opportunity at 41, I would run through a brick wall for the dude. If they told me tape your ankles, get your pads together now, I would go run through a brick wall for him. I think I can give him at least 6 downs, a half. I'll be fine. Just let me work my way back into shape. I'll be fine. I would do that.
0.6 down.
Yeah.
Give or take. But I would do that. Like emotionally, like the dude charges me up. And I haven't felt that about any coach outside of Gibbs. Here. Marty did.
Right.
And Gibbs did. But I didn't feel that. But I'm the wrong person to ask that. I can say that. I'm the wrong person to ask that.
So
we'll go to Ross and then we'll go to Oop.
I don't dislike Ron. I actually like Ron. I was happy when they hired him. I like Ron. He changed the culture. He had to deal with a wave of shit that came through that wasn't generated by him. But he can't get you to where you got to go. And he has had, you can go every year and pick out stuff that he's totally blown. He doesn't know. And how many times can a team be unprepared? At least 2 games every year, the team's just unprepared. It looks unprepared. It just looks unprepared. Yeah, it's on the players. The players have got to play. But at some point, when you've seen the same thing for 4 years, you're like, well, nothing's going to change.
Oop, what you got? You giving Ron another chance next year with a new GM? There you go. Yeah.
I wouldn't have him making any decisions. I wouldn't have him making any decisions. Nah, he'd have to go. He's got to go.
Hmm.
I'm kind of with that. I think what Ross said kind of like sums it up for me. If you go back and look at the last 4 years and how many times this team has stepped on the field and immediately got blown out the water from just not being prepared, that sits on Ron Rivera.
Yep.
And I think going into like I said, they get the golden ticket this year because of the ownership change. But I think at the end of the year, hey, everybody that drafted this person, thank you, but y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. It got to be because if they come out and perform like that on national TV and prime time, I don't care who you want to run through a wall for. Now you show me where y'all at. And Terry said something like, that's not who we are, but that's who we are on tape. And it's like, yeah, all this sounds good, but until somebody like puts something on the field, it's just talk. And this is what we keep seeing this with the Ron Rivera team. It's on me. It's on me. It's on us. That's not us. That's not how we play as a team. That's not what we want to put out there. All right, it's enough of that. Like if this is the first year, okay, I get it. But even with change of ownership, even with the dark cloud that's been over the ownership for, the last however many years, something still has to produce on the field. Some effort. Like if we're talking about effort on the field not being there, now you got to start questioning. All right, what's going on? It's not on locker room coaching, and it happens to the best of coaches. Sometimes the players go deaf to the coach. It just happens. Ron could be a good guy. He can go somewhere else and be successful. But right now, I think his voice is on deaf ears. And for that, at the end of the season, this house got to be clean, man. You got to get the Fabuloso. You got this is when you got to put two masks on. You got to get Fabuloso and bleach and some other stuff. And you got to mix it together, let it sizzle, and you just got poured in the locker room.
Here's the question: you say clean the house. Now, are you playing this? This will tell you how deep the house gonna be clean. Are you playing Prince, The Time, Michael Jackson, Luther, or you playing gospel music?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna play. You know why I'm not playing no music? Because I'm gonna pour that mixture on the people in the locker room. I want to hear them scream. We gonna hear. I want to hear Flesh leaving.
I'm playing the funeral march.
Yeah. Give me a little piano, a little funeral music. I'm like, I need the Ghostbusters thing, but it has that mixture in it. I'm gonna just spray all of them. I just want them to dissolve and go away and go into the. Remember the judge off of Roger Rabbit? He melted into the drain. That's what I want. I want y'all gone.
If I'm cleaning, we gotta play. Let's see what we talking about. We doing a deep cleanse.
Oh man.
So we gotta play like Payback as a Dog by the Stylistics. Then we gotta hit them with a little enchantment. So yeah, we gotta go, and then you top it off with a little Tina Marie.
I want the mixture so thick when they hit the walls, the paint come off, and you like Boston. What? What does that say? Boston. Hey, y'all, what Boston? What? Why does it say Boston? That's what I want. I want to scrape some of the history off this joint.
Yeah, I can't argue.
No,
I can't. I can't.
Fellas, look, we've been on for 1 hour and 30. Real quick, we gotta wrap this up. Before I forget, special thank you to our two guests, Oop, Ross. Y'all welcome anytime, man. Anytime, any topic. Y'all are welcome anytime. Okay.
Thank you. I enjoy it, man. I love hanging out with you guys. I appreciate it.
We love having you. Oop, I know this is your first time, man. I love it. Man, look, you whenever we on, man, all you gotta do is send a message to the group, whatever you want to come on, man. Just hit
Man, you
me, hit
just
somebody.
just let me know the schedule. You know, I'm on. I'll be on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I,
okay.
that's all I talk about. That's all I do is sports. That's it.
yeah.
All right, real quick, I want to go around and run. We'll do Raw Scoop, Midnight Rider, and Big Guy. Atlanta next week in Atlanta. Talk to me. What are you? I mean, we talked about the Bears game. We got to put. I know it's a cliche, but we got to put it behind us. We
Right.
got to go to the next thing. We got to go to Atlanta. How do the Commanders go to Atlanta and beat Atlanta?
Are they going to be able to stop the Atlanta offense, the running game? I mean, the quarterback Ritter has shown he can't do anything, right? So are they going to start Heineke, or is Ritter still the quarterback in Atlanta? Because there was some rumbling about Heineke starting next week, but I haven't heard too much about that. I'm not scared of Atlanta's passing game. Their running game will beat them to death because every team's been able to run. Every now and again they get, they'll stop them, but the running game, no matter who they put back there, Algier or Bijan, even Cordell Patterson, if they put him back there, it's still going to run. They can't stop the running game. The defense was the one thing that everybody was relying on this year because we didn't know how the offense was going to happen. It hadn't stopped anybody. We're giving up more points than we're scoring, and we're scoring more points than we have in 4 years. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them lose. Again, a close game like Philadelphia. I think the offense will score 30 points, but they'll lose 37-30 or something like that. They can't stop anybody. And you can see, I was hard on Chase Young, but you can see his speed and all his agility is coming back. He's slowly coming back. He took a couple wrong routes, but you can see him coming back to the player that he was in his first year. So I'm hoping he keeps going, and maybe he can get a few sacks next week. Something, the defense do something. A turnover. This was why we drafted the two guys, for turnovers, and they may have 2 turnovers this year, 1 turnover, a couple fumbles. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm thinking they're going to lose. I don't want them to, but I think they're going to lose. When I thought maybe they'd go 2-1 or 3-0 in these 3 games. I thought they would absolutely house Chicago. I thought they'd come out there in the blackout jerseys, but that's kind of on the coaching because they were flat. They were just, there was no emotion. There was nothing. So that's all I got.
Oop, how does Washington go into Atlanta and come out with a W? What do they have to do?
Stop the run. That's issue number one. Gonna have to stop the run. Step number two is run the football. We can't stop nobody. I told you my biggest fear is 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 plus, 3rd and 7 through 12. We can't stop it. So unless we cause a fumble first or second down, if they still on the field at 3rd down, they got one. But stopping the run and running the football, that's what they're gonna have to do.
Midnight Rider. Before you start, let me just say this. Bijan!
Bijan! Hey man, my guy gonna get 130 on us, but I really think this is a situation where if Atlanta wants to do us a favor, they'll start Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
If Atlanta's serious about winning football games, they'll at least give Heineke a chance. I don't think Heineke is a great quarterback, but I think he's better than Ritter. And I've watched them play a couple times this year, and when I watch them play, their passing game struggles because of their quarterback. It doesn't struggle because of their weapons. And everybody's trying to jump over Kyle Pitts, but don't try to offer me the trade to give me Kyle Pitts because I don't want him. Drake London. Well, the good thing for us is, if y'all gotta think about it, DJ Moore had 200 yards on us. Jay Brown had 150 yards on us. They got a dude named Drake, so we should be okay. You know what I'm saying? We started from the bottom. Now we here. You know what I'm saying? So we should be all right and guard him because he ain't got no initials. So maybe we cover him better because he don't have initials in his name. But I think we win. But we'll see that when we get to that point. But I think we win by a field goal. It's going to be close because I keep telling people I don't think this team has the capability to blow out anybody. So when we start that talk like, oh, we should blow them out, but no, because we haven't shown it and we haven't done it. Until we do it, I'm not going to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like since we've been in the Bible today, you know, they told me that Jesus is going to die and come back in 3 days. Well, until he did it, I ain't believe it. So that's all I'm saying. We need to see something to believe. Go ahead, KG. That's enough of theologians. No, I'm joking.
In order to win this game, you got to come out with some fire, some heart. You know, I mean, most importantly, you got to score more points than the other team. Because if they score more points than you lose. So, but everybody, not everybody here, but a lot of people around the NFL calling this the Taylor Heineke revenge game. And I was like, revenge for what? If Heineke starts, what does he have revenge for? If anything, he has love for DC. What would he have revenge for? But if they start, what's the other cat? Ritter, it may do us a favor, but hell, he might look like daggone Johnny Unitas out there on a 2-minute drill for the whole damn game. Just can't throw it incompletion.
Steve Bartkowski.
Daniel Jones versus the Commanders. That's what he's going to look like.
Yeah.
And if Daniel Jones played the Commanders every week, he'd be a Hall of Famer already.
Yep.
But I think this is a winnable game in the next 9 days. I think you got 9 days to prepare. So there should be no shortage of tape being watched, finding out tendencies. Everything should be broken down. It should be a lot of all 22s and everything of Atlanta, finding out what they like to do, what they don't like to do, how to stop them. Everything should be done. Should be. I'm noticing I'm saying should be. But I think I agree with the Midnight Ride. I think they only win this game by 3. I think they win this game in a classic shootout, 16-13.
Mark that one down. Mark that down, BJ. He agrees with me. Mark it down.
I'm jotting that down.
16-13. That's what I'm calling it.
Hey,
I don't feel confident.
Real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. I think that the dynamic on this week is going to be, I said it in the pregame show because I had to give Midnight Ride his flowers from B. John Robinson. And I said to myself, watching him, I said, like, you don't get that feeling from too many backs, like when they touch the ball to go to the house.
Yeah. And
all we've talked about is how bad this defense has been playing. I think Atlanta, with the combination of runners they got, I think they're not going to get gashed. The Washington defense is going to get gashed on the ground. They're not going to get gashed in the air. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be a 200-plus yard running day for the Falcons. Now, that doesn't translate to a win. I just think that those running troubles, that defense, it's going to translate to next week. And, you know, KG said, you know, the all 22 and preparing. We already said this team doesn't prepare well. They don't. They can have 19 days, and they're going to come out and they're going to run the same defense, the same plays, same offense.
Y'all do know that they're going to come out and play the exact opposite of how we all sitting here talking. That's exactly how it always is, bro.
And they probably come out and score 42.
We knew that they was going to smoke Chicago, and what we do look crazy. Every time we know we about to get crushed, like last week we played Philly. Oh, they about to beat us by 40. It was like, man, we should have beat them. Yeah, I mean, but I ain't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you good. You good.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, I ain't even gonna start that because that's gonna spark a whole nother 15-minute conversation. We'll talk about that later. I'll save that question for later. But like I said, I think Atlanta goes for 200 rushing yards. Like I said, that doesn't mean a win. I just think that Washington is going to have a hard time stopping Robinson. I really think that it's going to be some big gashes. Hopefully the offense come to play a little bit better, but we'll see. I'm not ready to throw out a number yet, but we'll see how it is. My bold prediction right now is the 200 plus running yards for the Falcons. So,
Watch the
um,
Falcons tight ends. Watch the Falcons tight ends. Not Pitts. The other dude, Smith. Was it Janu?
John New Smith, baby.
Right. Watch the tight ends. Washington was number one going into this week against the tight ends. Komet had a good game. Watch the tight ends. Watch the tight ends. They're a lot more athletic,
yeah.
and our linebackers struggle in tight end coverage.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're gonna dance out of here. We're gonna tiptoe out of here. I mean, we've been stomping on the floor for the last hour and 45 minutes. And it's all good. Like I said, once again, thank you to Oop. Thank you to Ross for joining us. It's one hell of a conversation on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, guys.
we appreciate y'all, man. We gonna do it. We always try to do a Redskin post game, whether it's the same day after the game or the next day. We try to do it. So y'all are welcome anytime. Um, for myself, the Midnight Rider, the big guy KG, we can say we don't do no overtime. That's a damn lie. But I want to see this on my check next week. But we out of here. Peace.
All right. God bless.
Yes, sir.